Yo, this is Teresa Weatherspoon, better known as Teaspoon, and you're watching Real Fans, Real Talk.
Live from the can. Vibe you can.
This is Real Fans, Real Talk. Real fans, real talk. We as real as you thought. Real fans.
What's going on, guys? I restarted the live now. Obviously, of course, it's working for Facebook right now and YouTube. Trying to get Justin Biggs back up here so we can break down the Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford fight. So I just sent him over the new link. So bear with us for a second while he gets a chance to log in. Hopefully, he can just log in with no issues, and we can just break down the big fight that went down. Everybody's talking about. Terrence Crawford is the new undisputed champion, and Canelo Alvarez will figure out where he's going to go from here. Terrence Crawford is also going to have to figure out where he goes from here. Is this the fight where he says he can just step away from the sport of boxing? I don't know. I seen he got called out by a UFC fighter. There's a couple of guys that have been calling out Terrence Crawford as well. So we're gonna see what's going on with that. I think we finally got Justin Biggs in the building. There we go. We finally got Justin Biggs in the building. So finally, we had to restart the live, but the man, the myth, the legend, Justin Big Time Biggs is in the building. And we're gonna talk fight night, man. Was this the fight of the year?
Man, to me it was. I've been talking about this fight for so long, for about 3 years, man. I thought it'd be a good idea if Crawford went ahead and fought Canelo Alvarez, and man, just seeing the fight was just amazing. And yeah, it was definitely the fight of the year, man, and one of the most important fights in boxing, ever.
Did you feel like Crawford was gonna have any problems? Because again, it's not even just jumping up two weight classes, but jumping up
hmm
two weight classes to fight the best at that weight class.
I didn't think so, man. I think I had a gauge on who Canelo was and how good he actually was.
Mhm.
To me, I think overall, I mean, he was built very well. But when we first laid eyes on Canelo Alvarez, he had like 42 fights or something like that. And I think I
Mhm.
saw him fight Miguel Cotto's little brother, and I just saw how Crawford just vanquished everybody at 147, coming up from 135. And people felt like the Errol Spence situation was something where Errol Spence was high. Errol Spence was not himself anymore with the car accident, and I just felt like he was just that much better than Errol Spence. So
Mhm.
if he was that much better than Errol Spence, I felt like he can go up there and beat Canelo Alvarez.
Mhm. Did Because I don't think the fight was close.
It wasn't,
So
no.
okay, what is it, or if anything, could Canelo have done differently with his approach to the fight?
So on my pod, I said it. I talked about it. The biggest issue is that Canelo didn't have a jab, a consistent jab.
Yes.
So if you allow Terence Crawford to out jab you, you're coming up with the high guard, and you're being blinded. It wears you out after a while when you're trying to come in and you're not jabbing. So even when he does jab, uh, um, so Crawford jabs, he jabs back with him. Crawford jabs again. Canelo does not
Mhm.
throw that additional jab. So it's just one jab at a time, and he rarely throws it. He walks straight in, and he's looking for a hard shot rather than a combination, and that's not going to work against the Terence Crawford.
Canelo looked throughout the fight very frustrated.
hmm
I hadn't seen him look that frustrated in a fight since the Mayweather fight. What is
Yeah,
it about Terrence Crawford that he was able to pick apart one of the greatest fighters of this time?
yeah. I've been saying it for about about 3 4 years. I think Terrence Crawford is. I think we saw a great fighter versus an all time great fighter, and I think that
Mm,
we have to start having a conversation. I think even years ago when he beat Errol Spence, that is he the greatest fighter of all time that we've ever seen, um, and just him always being the B side, winning the fights he's won, beating everybody so well that we kind of go, oh, that guy was shot. That guy must have been old because we have not seen anything like
hmm.
this. That we have to create a reason why he beats everybody. So I think that's what it just is. It's just a great fighter, versus potentially the best one, best fighter ever. I mean, it's an argument between him and Ali, Floyd Mayweather, everybody. That's how I look at it.
Okay, where does Canelo go from here? Where does Terrence Crawford go from here?
I think Canelo, he should. Uh, there's the Benavidez fight for Battle of Mexico on Netflix. He can do that, which I think
A
he
good
he
fight.
uh he loses though. But I think it's
Yeah,
I think he loses that. There's another fight with Bivol. I think he can win that one in a rematch. Um, as for Terrence Crawford, and then eventually Jake Paul, I think with Canelo, they can kind of call it a wraps after that. I think Crawford should look at the window between if Thurman beats Fundora, I think fighting Thurman would be a good fight that he can win. I think also him Jermell Charlo coming back at
that
160
that'll be interesting.
to win the title at 160. It's the only thing he hasn't done. And then after that, I think it's kind of like this the circus. Like it's like Jake Paul exhibitions, Logan Paul. I think Logan Paul's gonna try to fight Terrence Crawford. To be honest,
Is is there another big payday for Terrence Crawford in the sport of boxing right now? Not,
uh,
not a Jake Paul fight, just I mean within who's in the realm of the sport, who's really engulfed in the sport.
yeah, I think Jamal really Charlo because of the whole with them arguing. He gets one good win at 160. He had like the only hard part about it for Canelo Alvarez, like this is the perfect send off,
Mm,
but he took about 10 million and Canelo took 150 or something like that. And now he's in his stage where Floyd beat Oscar and he becomes a cash cow now. So it's like to not utilize his status as the cash cow,
yeah.
he's leaving, $100 million paydays on the table. So
If Canelo says, "All right, I'm gonna fight Benavidez," and then loses, making that now back to back losses,
mhm.
do you feel like it may be time for him to hang it up?
Not really, because I don't think he ever could beat them. I don't think it's a
Oh,
decline. It's not a decline in we got, we're kind of getting out of the era of like the Floyd Mayweather era where every time someone loses, we have to go, dang, should this guy quit? When in fact the person could never have beat the fighter in the first place. That guy is just better than them. And
yeah.
they fight 10 times, the guy's gonna beat them 9 times. It's just how it is. The smartest thing for Crawford and Canelo to do is fight each other again. That's what I would do. I would do it again.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's probably going to be the biggest payday for both of those guys would be the rematch, right? So,
Yeah.
obviously, Terrence Crawford going to have to get a bigger cut though
Yeah.
this time around. But I
Yeah.
wouldn't mind seeing it again because I did think it was a really good fight. So I wouldn't mind seeing a rematch. Um, after after the fight, Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo go back and forth.
Mhm.
Uh, is that a fight you want to see? And if it does happen, who do you take?
I don't want to see that fight. I just think it's not gonna look good. But I think I think Shakur Stevens will win. Um The thing is, Shakur just has it down to such a science, man. He doesn't get emotional, and he doesn't do anything he doesn't have to do to win. And I think that all you have to do is watch. If you want to know how that fight's gonna go, watch Shakur versus Edwin De Los Santos, and watch Teofimo versus Jermaine, the kid. What's his name? I want to say It's not Jermaine Lopez. The kid's name is I forgot his name. Jermaine. I'll remember later on. But those fights, it's gonna be boring. They've sparred before. Teofimo's another fighter who is incredible, but does not use a double jab. He does not believe in the jab. He's gonna try to land hard shots. Shakur's gonna move around. It's a great fight if it's not on pay-per-view. If it's a free fight,
Yeah.
if you want to learn as a fighter, like how do I go in there and just not get hit? Like it's a great but it's a bad fight, you know?
All right. We got another big exhibition fight going down. That's probably going to be the last big fight, even though it's exhibition fight of the year. Jake Paul versus Tank. Okay. You know what? Who do you have winning this fight?
Well, with exhibition, there's no winners. So that's a tricky question. But I think when we leave there, we're gonna say, "Oh wow, Tank didn't do anything in the beginning of the fight. He's gonna move around, take his time,
Mhm.
land a shot here and there, eventually try to tire Jake Paul out, and then start hitting him. And Paul's gonna hold and probably survive just because he's big. Yeah, that's probably how that one's gonna go.
Okay, because I would like to see someone actually in Jake Paul's weight class fight him, even though obviously Tank is great, but obviously they're two different weight classes completely.
hmm
Deontay Wilder, Andre Ward, if he were to come back and do it, can Jake Paul compete with either one of those guys?
No, not Andre Ward. No, no, no. Andre Ward is just the looks he gives you, the way he goes about stuff. He's another one that he bought in this era of not getting hit, like, and
Yeah.
doesn't care if it's exciting. He's not gonna do anything outside of himself. And then when you look at Deontay Wilder, he's been. I thought that was a good fight for Jake because
Yeah.
he's declining enough that Jake it'll look good optically because
Mhm.
it'll be like, wow, look at this huge guy, huge black guy fighting this smaller,
Yeah.
YouTube guy. So I thought that'd be a good fight, and I think that he will probably get dropped and make a mistake with Deontay, but he may be able to get up, and we may
Yeah.
gain respect for him as the public. Go, wow, man, he fought Deontay Wilder. He's a killer. He got up. This Gervonta Davis stuff is just optically going to look bad.
Yeah.
We all respect Tank, but the public doesn't understand that Tank is 5'4", 5'5".
And that's my problem. Is like it just doesn't look good seeing these two guys in the ring together.
But you're an expert, so as an expert, your friends, everyone who just is casual is gonna love the fight, and they're gonna buy the $70 pay-per-view, and then they're gonna be like, "Oh man, Tank is that small?" They're not gonna realize that about weights and all these type of things. So it's a perfect fight for Jake Paul because God forbid he does go in and get hurt by Gervonta. They're gonna say that's Gervonta Davis though. He's an animal,
Yeah.
If he hurts Gervonta Davis, they're gonna say, "Yo, why? Like he hurt Gervonta Davis. He's a real fighter. I mean, yeah, he was kind of small, but it's a win-win situation for him."
Yeah. I agree. All right, and then I want to go back to Tank. Eric and I were discussing last week, about the whole just ducking concept and whatnot. I said I didn't really care because if you want to pay me $100 million to go fight Jake Paul, I'm gonna go take $100 million to go fight Jake Paul.
Absolutely.
But do you feel like Gervonta is ducking the rematch? Is ducking Shakur? Do you feel like he's ducking the best talent right now in the weight class?
Um, I think he fought Rolly, he fought Ryan Garcia, he knocked out Frank Martin. You know, he beat Pitbull Cruz. He fought a lot of good fighters in his weight. Devin went up in weight. Other than Devin and Shakur Stevens, that's really it. I mean, he created Lamont Roach, which we appreciate Lamont Roach now today, but you don't have to have a rematch to meet right after.
Yeah,
And he had that fight booked already and planned already. And Jake Paul's gonna come in the ring and say, "Oh, let's fight Gervonta Davis." But I feel like we have to figure out who Lamont Roach is. Lamont Roach had a great outing with him, right? Now, what he should go do is go build his profile. Now because I want to know if Lamont Roach is either Buster Douglas or he's Antonio Tarver. Meaning this:
I got you.
did you go just beat Mike Tyson on a night that you just were focused, but then you're gonna go lose to Evander Holyfield and not be be a Hall of Famer, or are you gonna be Antonio Tarver who beats knocks Roy Jones out and goes on to be an all-time great?
Yes.
So now let's go ahead and do that. And now if you go ahead and do that and you go knock out Isaac Cruz, right?
Mhm.
And Tank go in there and do his thing. Now the fight is big. It's like, oh snap, he knocked out Isaac Cruz. He beat Shakur Stevens. And the second part of your question, as far as the Shakur thing, we want to see the Shakur fight, but that fight, Shakur needs a signature win.
Agreed.
I think he's an incredible fighter. We've all known, like even in the amateurs, like has all the ability in the world, but he needs to beat Teofimo Lopez in emphatic fashion.
Yeah, knocked out.
Yeah, or a beating or something that's just like, oh snap,
It's like not even close.
Exactly. He needs to do what he did like to Jamel Herring when he beat him. Like that was you were like, wow. Like he needs something like that
Build up
because
to the fight.
exactly.
Would a Devin Haney win help? Or
Yeah.
is it you think because my thing with Devin Haney is even though this is one of the things we spoke about in the studio with the Devin Haney Ryan Garcia fight, even though it comes out, whatever Ryan was on, we was on, but Devin Haney just looked so bad in that fight. It kind of makes me feel like it takes away from a big fight with Shakur or a big fight with Tank.
Yeah, that Ryan fight was bad, which I kind of my thing was when we spoke about it, I said Devin's gonna have the killer instinct because he will hurt Ryan at one point in the fight, which he did with the left hook. He just didn't follow up and finish him when he had him hurt. But I think Devin and Ryan kind of have not Ryan, Devin, Devin, Ryan, and Shakur all around the same level of stock.
Mm-hmm.
So where they can still mix it up. Now, if Shakur was to go in there and beat Devin Haney up, then it's like, oh, all right, like I'm gonna see that. Or Ryan or this one or that one. It's just I feel like when you talk about the face of boxing, you think of the other night, you think of Canelo Alvarez and Gervonta Davis. That's who you think about.
Yeah.
So
but now you gotta think about Terrence Crawford because that's
now,
a bad boy right there.
yeah, that's a bad that's a bad boy. It's a bad dude.
So listen, Justin, I appreciate you for pulling up. I know it's late, but I wanted to recap this fight with you. Just give us a final thought. Tell them where they can check out the podcast.
Oh, we good, man. It's never too late for you guys, man. I love the show. You guys can check us out on Revolt, Biggs versus Biggs on YouTube and audio. Spotify, Apple. You can listen to us on there. It was a great night of boxing. If you guys want to hear about boxing, you can hear about it here. You guys show, but if you want to get another opinion, check us out too. You can.
No, you gotta go to the professionals.
I mean, you guys are professionals too, man. You've been doing this
from outside of the ring, but I ain't been in the ring before and knock nobody out inside the ring. So that's what
you know.
experts.
Well, you know, I called you an expert. You know your stuff. So,
Yes,
um,
yes, that's a fact.
yeah, guys, if you guys are betting or whatever, you can listen to him. You know, you listen to us. He
Yes.
knows his stuff, man. But yeah. So basically, YouTube and on all the streaming platforms. Biggs versus Biggs. BIGGS versus Biggs.
Yes, sir. With that being said, make sure you guys are following us on all our social media: Instagram, Twitter at Real Fan Talk, Facebook.com/Real Fans Real Talk, and of course, subscribe to that YouTube channel, YouTube.com/For the Fans Productions. And if you're not in New York on Thursday nights from 8 to 9 p.m., don't worry, you can still watch from anywhere in the world. RealFansRealTalk.com. Just click that red button on the homepage, and you'll basically be watching what everybody else sees on Verizon 43 right here in New York City. Oh, and make sure you subscribe to the Sanchez Show podcast and the Real Fans Real Talk podcast. With that being said, for myself, Trip Young, and the good brother, the champ, one of my favorite guests to come on Real Fans Real Talk, we up out of here. Peace.
All right, guys. Take